Hey everybody, this is my first ever experience going live, and this is my first time. Typically, right now, I would have a video loaded, but I wanted to try this and see how it went. So, um, just to get into it, if you've been following my last video, um, I shared a link to a fundraiser for my alma mater, ISU, about raising money for accessibility needs on campus, the Universal Design for Learning campaign. And I figured I would talk about my experience and why I'm asking, or well, why I'm helping them raise money. Because college for me, and as a disabled person, was kind of difficult. And it goes back to community college where I was scared to go to the community college, the main campus, because I thought it was going to be too big to handle. So my whole community college experience, which was 3 years long, was in a post office. So I literally had a hallway. So I didn't have to go far at all. And then after I graduated that, still not knowing what I wanted to do, I got into ISU. And that scared the shit out of me because here I am going from a post office to a huge campus. I had been there a few times for orientation, and I went just to get the lay of the land, really. And it was nerve wracking. And I remember thinking, how am I going to do this? Because there were so many days, especially, August, September, where I would come home absolutely drenched in sweat, like soaked to the bone in sweat. And it was terrible. And I thought, can I handle this? Like, is this too much for me? Um, and at first, it honestly was, but I was like, well, I'm here. I'm not going to give up. So, I just kept going. And eventually, I learned shortcuts around campus. Um, I know there was a huge period of time when I couldn't be late to my very first class, and it was like an 8:50 class, and I had to like run across the bridge, and every day I thought I was going to be late, and then lo and behold, halfway through the semester, I found a shortcut, and it saved my life. But the reason I want to help ISU, because this college experience was the first time I really started accepting. Well, I started accepting it in high school. Here's my roommate. She's gonna make the noise. Go ahead. And the dog. Um, but the joys of going live. Um, but ISU is kind of what started this YouTube channel because they asked me to start a registered student organization. And at first I was like, what is that? They're like, well, we want to do something with disability. And I'm thinking, okay, what? Okay, sure. And we ended up starting Student Disability Network. And it was designed to kind of bridge the gap between those with disabilities and those who don't. And we had good intentions. The group that I was in, there was about 8 of us. We all really wanted to try and make this organization work. It's still going now, and it's going a lot better than it was. But I will say, we didn't know what we were doing at all, and it hardly got off the ground. Happy to say that it's still going on. But what that experience taught me was, I do like advocating for disability. It did take me 2 years after college to decide to make a YouTube channel. But that was really where the seed was planted. And, it's one of those things where, if you're disabled and going to college, go to the disability services. They honestly saved me so much. They helped me with test time and just even scheduling my classes to have time to get to class. So if you are struggling or are nervous about going to college, definitely check out your college's disability services. because they honestly became family to me. And that is why when they asked me to, help them with this fundraiser, I had to jump at the chance because they offered so much help to me. And it's like, well, I should offer help to them. But, oh, my phone's ringing. I'll have to wait for that. But yeah, so ISU, and if anyone wants to go to college, and you have a disability of any kind, um, don't be afraid. I was afraid. I really was, especially going to university. But as most will tell you who have a disability, we are capable of adapting to a lot. Like I said, I was really not physically fit starting college. It was terrible. Like I said, like sweat straight through. Like I had to, like I would shower in the morning, and by the time I got to my first class, like I was soaked in sweat already, and that was the beginning of the day. So then I felt nasty the entire day because the people assumed that I don't shower, but that was just because it was a long walk. It was hot, and I remember people telling me, like, "How do you do it? Like, this has got to be hard for you." And my response would be, "I just do it. It's what I have to do." Um, Hey, thanks for the one person that's watching too. Let me know who you are in the chat. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. But it was terrible. And honestly, the first year I was there for 2 years. The first year, I had a really difficult time managing having a social life and doing the homework. So my first year basically was me sitting in my dorm room. Thankfully, I had a single. My orthopedic at the time was like, "Do you want a roommate or a single?" And I was like, "Well, a single," because if I was going to have a single, I needed a letter from him, and he wrote a beautifully worded letter about how it might be easier for me in my college experience to live by myself, because not everyone is always accepting of what living with someone with a disability is. And it was kind of nice to have space to just focus on myself, but it also kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wishes I would have had a roommate because they might have been able to help me, and the first year might not have been as lonely as it was. But then senior year, when I really didn't care, and I started to have a social life more. I was in an anime club, so if anyone likes anime, but yeah, first year of ISU, not so fun. There are many times where I wanted to just quit, and I I'm glad I didn't, but there are many times where I thought this is just too much. And I think that's only natural because when things are harder than you expect them to be, it's you don't think you can handle it. And I didn't think I did, but thankfully with the friends that I did have down there and with the support of my family and the support of the disability services, I made it. So I was in college a total of 5 years. So only a year about what's typical, year more than what's typical. But if you're in college and, don't worry about how long it takes you, whether you have a disability or not, don't worry about how long it takes you. Just worry about you and finishing, because college is something to be proud of. Like, honestly, like society kind of puts you on this path that you need to go to high school, you need to go to college, and you'll get a good job. And honestly, that's not true. I mean, you can get a good job from college, but they don't tell you exactly how hard college is going to be. They honestly don't. It's a lot harder than you think. So if you're out there busting your ass, getting it done, you should be proud of yourself. I know 2020 wasn't a great year to be in college. I'm thankful I wasn't in college because you guys faced quite a bit. But yeah, I wanted to come on here and kind of explain to everyone why I was asking for your help in raising money. Because even though the disability services helped me so much, um, the campus isn't as accessible as it needs to be. And with the remote learning, which is what this is aimed primarily towards, you will help by just giving $10. You'll give a month of text to talk for a student. And there's many different levels. But the fundraiser runs through August 28th, and it's in accordance with the ADA, the 30th anniversary, and that was just on Sunday. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, I don't know that anyone's even in here, but this is kind of cool because, talking to my phone, I can just delete and record. But I wanted to see what it was like to film a video live. But yeah, I don't know. I really wish people were in here, and I probably should have promoted this before I started it. But maybe I'll try doing a live again. But if anyone sees this later and has any questions about my college experience, please let me know and comment down below, and I will reply to you. I love talking to people. If you enjoy this, I hope you'll subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Share it with your friends for someone who's thinking about going to college or just struggling through college. It's a real big struggle, and we're all in this together. Even though I'm out of college, I understand just how difficult it was. But okay, I hope you enjoyed. I post videos every Tuesday normally. This is brand new to me to do a live, but maybe I will do some more. And I will see you next time.